but nobody comes to hang out with me.
Yeah.
It's just like for the past week, I've just been sitting there like,
Uh-huh. Well, your your lack of interaction ends right now with Lord of Darkness. You know, it's all okay. Everything is fine and great. So, if you would like to both jump in the roll 20, though, then we can actually start before DCL says that, yeah, fuck, shit, that's the thing I forgot that we have to do.
I didn't forget.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you. You
Mhm.
forget every time.
Yeah, and every single time you say fuck, I forget that that's a thing. And then we go, yes, we know, you forget that it's a thing.
Yeah, but because you called me out on it this time.
You have to deny it, yeah.
Yeah. I technically didn't forget because you reminded me. It's not how that works, but that's the story I'm running with.
Yeah, sure, okay. Sounds good to me.
true guru.
Oh, wow. So, where do we even pick up again? This has been quite the lengthy quest that you've all been involved in.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to ask my questions to the guy yet.
This is correct, yeah. You will have your chance to perform an interrogation of this individual post-vivisection.
You also get your chance to perform a awesome feature.
This is true, yeah. You are going to also get the opportunity to grant oral sex as a trade-off for having drained their blood.
I hope you've taken dots in
just let
I,
it die.
I was gonna say cunning linguist, but that's not the same. But
It is
you know,
not.
I'm
It's
sure
not the
that
same, but I mean, it's still
translates.
the skill itself is multi-applicable. I feel.
I'm sure it translates.
Just let the joke
Cunning
die, damn it.
linguist.
Okay, awesome. All right. So before we get underway with that, a quick recap of the things that you have learned and the things that you've done. Because yes, this job has turned out to be quite a long one for you all. Originally, it started out as a very simple matter: locating individuals who did not turn up to the prince's party. There are plenty of people who didn't show up, but, you know, they had reasons, for instance. But there were a couple that were expected to have turned up and did not. In the process of looking for these people, you have come across some very final deathed remains from Esteban, one of the collectors of ghouls. There is evidence of people having gone missing, and possibly even being aware that they were actually being hunted in the first place. The blind vampires in the sewers. Yeah, we'll get to those in a moment, Stinklord, but thank you. The blind vampires in the sewers are potentially involved in this matter. Most specifically, their elder went missing suspiciously close to the period of time wherein all of this other shit went down. The second command, aka the child of the elder, Amelia Weber, has tried to assist you at a point, but so far not been of a massive amount of help. And Elder Torina, the Mortrovian, has joined the collections of people to have gone missing. This very same night that Rem's character Gideon came to his insane asylum, Elder Torina vanished without a trace. He awoke tied to the bed as a result of this, but the elder's child was persuaded to play nice and not try to stake him to the bed. And, you know, some information was put together, and following up on that lead rather directly, you came across the home of one Jacob Cabs, who was a ghoul who was meant to be passing on the very message to the prince that Elder Torina wouldn't be turning up. You know, because that's the polite thing and they have to do it. Indeed, according to Torina beforehand, the reason he didn't show up is because you guys didn't get that letter. Well, the ghoul Jacob Cabs was found. He was found crucified to the wall of his home, having been turned into a vampire. No less, it would seem that he was turned into a Botticelli. there were other curious remains at the site of the now vampiric Jacob Cabs' home, beings made of entirely pale white flesh, right down to the gums and the tongues, that were very resilient, although not especially effective when they had daggers placed to the hilt in their eyes. Poor Blindo. He was the best of you all. He tried really hard.
He tried so hard.
Mm-hmm. Since recovering Jacob Cabs and dispatching the pale figures, Jacob Cabs was vivisected by some professional dragons of the Ordo Dracul, wherein they did indeed discover he appeared to be a Botticelli vampire, as far as they could tell, and other spurious information like how long the boy been a vamp and how does a bunch of his bloodline's transient nature actually functions, because they're the only people who, for some reason, their bloodline will gradually override that of others. Which is pretty worrying, as many might assume. Indeed, not that the rest of her party would know, but Rose is suffering from the symptoms of that bloodline usurping as we speak.
Yeah, the fuckers.
Motherfucker. Now I'm in the room asking questions.
Indeed, and before we get to those questions, it is time for that thing, what I was reminded to do. Your aspirations. I'm going to pull up my sheet and then pull it on over, and we'll figure out what your goals for the day are, your special skills, how you're going to earn some gold stars and rainbow markers. Let's face it, you'd totally love to have, like, gold stars and stuff.
Alright. What I want to do.
If you sweat from the butt a lot, is that aspiration?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's not think too much about that, though.
So, Lily, your 3 aspirations are help Tim with his job, that's got 3 pluses, fix vision with a plus, and watch DCL suck Etienne's dick. No pluses in that currently. You happy with all 3 of those? Want to change anything?
I'm happy with all of those.
Excellent. DCL, we have perform a job alongside Rose. If you would like to make that a blow job, you can score it in early for less points. Figure out what the new creatures are, and capturing a member of the 7, in air quotes, alive. Would you like to change any of those?
For the sake of advancing plot, no, but I'm tempted to change one of them into get accurate information out of Jacobs. But that could be a coin flip. So yeah, keep them. I'll keep them.
Okay. I would say it's not a terrible idea to basically say, like, I might not learn one thing, but my intention is to, you know, squeeze information out of this person and find out what the new creatures are, because that one's a tougher and possibly longer standing duty. Whereas you could score the interrogation like this session. It's generally how it's thought of, at least. So let us see here.
Well, those are my aspirations for now.
Yep. Mazendi, you have research persistent shadows with a plus, resolving the side job, shaking a few trees with 3 pluses, and do not allow the agents of the 7 to kill/torpor any of my companions with a plus. Would you like to change any of these?
No, they all seem good.
Alright, excellent. And right now, that's where we are at. You know what? I'm gonna set Rem the homework of thinking up his 3rd aspiration. 3rd aspiration for when you arrive. There you go. Doesn't get away with that the whole time.
Alright. So. Got the questions I want.
Yep.
I'm in the room. I don't remember exactly what the dramatic thing we did, but I know it was the dramatic thing.
I mean, it wasn't especially dramatic. You were presented. You were in fact told that you would have to wait a little bit just for the like the ritual itself to close up naturally.
No, I got to ask one question for the session ended. I chose the dramatic question. I don't
He's
remember
right,
what.
you know.
Of course. All right.
Who are the seven?
Ah. This is a pretty big question. Okay.
I remember him giving a very almost incoherent and afraid answer.
But it was one that indicated he knew about them
Yes.
to a scary level of amount.
All right. At least for now, my tactic is going to be lower the level and work up to that again, since he's already seeming, rather afraid. So, after like the whole little dramatic question, I'll sit back in my chair and go, all right. Let's take this from somewhere less dramatic and work our way back up, all right?
He will pause for a moment and then say, "Can you at least take the bandage off my eyes?"
I will. Did we have any orders against doing that?
There is no bandage on his eyes.
Oh. There are no bandages on your eyes.
That's not... And he'll, like, continue trying to, like, look around the room. His arms and feet, like, they are still, like, bound to the table he was literally vivisected on. But it is, you know the push tables that will, like, rotate and swing upwards into a standing position with little feet rests at the bottom?
Yeah.
That's effectively what he's trussed up in, so he can't really move properly, but you can tell that he's, like, trying to corroborate this information.
Alright, I forgot. He's turned into a Botticelli, so now he is blind as a bat.
Correct. No, he's blinder than a bat. Bats at least can see a bit.
That you're blind, yeah.
No.
Bats actually have very good eyesight.
Calm down for now. Like I said, start slow and we'll work our way back up.
It's kind of hard to stay calm, but sure, ask your questions.
Here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? I know your name is Jacob, but I don't know what you do around here exactly, or what you're like.
I'm... he'll, like, pause for a moment and try and think for a bit. I used to be Elder Tarina's assistant. One of his ghouls. I helped around in the asylum. I did outside jobs, daylight stuff. Usual ghoul work.
Usual ghoul work. Do you like working under Elder Tarina? I know it's kind of an odd question, but I'm kind of a weird vampire. Just play along with my questions, please.
I don't think you're giving me much of a choice but to play along. I suppose I didn't mind it. I liked working at the place. I mean, there are better jobs than becoming a ghoul. But, you know. He'll try to shrug a little bit. It looked like a normal job in the asylum and turned out to be something a little bit more.
A little bit more, you say?
Of course.
You remember the day of the night you were tasked to deliver the message?
Deliver the message? Which message?
Let me go through my notes real quick.
It would have been a message from the Elder to the Prince. Or, well, to the bartender.
Yeah. A message from the Elder to the bartender.
Yeah, okay. That was a few days ago, at least. Let's see here. I left on, like, just coming up on the evening shift. The Elder, woken up. Sun had been down maybe a little bit. Not too long ago. I'd finished my work with the orderlies for the day. And then he pauses, like his mouth is drying up, and he, like, tries to rehydrate his lips a little bit.
He's a vampire now.
Correct, yes. He has also been a vampire for all of not very long and spent most of that time unconscious.
Oh yeah. What do vampires normal? How do they normally react if they try to drink water without knowing they've been turned? Like, is that something they can do in like stomach, or is that going to be a no-no?
You can eat or drink anything. It's just you immediately puke it up.
Yeah.
Best not to let him figure that out right away. Then I'll break that to him, or at least try to easily. I'll go.
He's probably aware that he's a vampire. Like, if you think of all of those unnatural senses, and right now he is, you know, he was a ghoul and was already, like, a little bit more heightened than the average person. He's now mysteriously blind, but as a result, he has, like, basically echolocation going for him. Well, no, his doesn't be that powerful yet, but you know what I mean. Like, his senses are cranked way up. He can probably smell every drop of blood in this room.
Yeah. Is he, like, watery parched, or is he, like, blood parched? I guess I'll ask him. Because, I mean, we got an IV of blood, like, hooked up to him, don't we?
You had one hooked up to him. That's emptied now. The time it took for like that ritual to generally like cool its way down, his body has consumed whatever was in that bag. It probably was not as satisfying as you know, the bite.
Fair enough. Yes, I will just apologize for the discomfort. We'll be able to do something soon about that after the questions are asked.
Yeah, great. Okay, what was your question again? Sorry.
Do you remember any of the details from the day you had to deliver the letter from your elder to the bartender?
He pauses and tries to start again. It was early evening. The elder had woken up. I'd finished my work with the orderlies for the day, and I was handed a letter, and I left to go and hand it off, and he pauses, starts thinking again, and he sort of trails off again. Sorry, what was the question?
I'll kind of... Yeah, I'm alone in this, so, but yeah. Obvious mental block or something like that.
Do you mention that he has one to him?
No.
Okay.
So, Jacob, as you probably noticed, you're a little bit more heightened than usual.
If I can tell you things that I'm noticing right now, it's that my insides burn a little bit. The rest of me can't feel a fucking thing. I can smell blood everywhere. I can hear people moving in rooms really far away, and I can't see a goddamn thing. Yeah, no, there's a whole lot different going on right now, sir.
I'm gonna need to give you your moment for this, but there's no way to really pussyfoot around this. You've of course been turned into a vampire, and specifically you've been turned into a Barcelli.
A Botticelli? Well. Fuck, I'm blind forever, aren't I?
There's no way of sugarcoating it. Yes.
He seems to, like, go a little bit limp in his restraints.
The only hope I can give you is the fact that the Barticelli seem to be able to adapt to their visionless in other ways. It's not as if you'll be useless or limp for too long, but I don't know how I could lie to you in this situation.
Yeah, great.
Look, if you need a moment, I understand.
No, fucking get on with it. What I need is to... something. Just ask your questions. Go ahead. Ask stuff. You were talking about a 7 before.
Well, that's because we think the 7 are involved in what happened to you. You probably don't remember this, but you were found staked to a wall.
I think I would remember being staked to a wall. I don't feel like I've been staked to a wall. I feel like everything's in the wrong place on the insidey parts, but that's basically it.
I'll check my notes and ask him, does he remember the apartment building that he was found in?
Describe the building I was found in.
I mean, I'm blinking because I don't fucking remember.
That's fine.
But,
You can just say, like, you describe the room he was in, and he'll quickly
Yeah.
corroborate. Yeah,
I'll
I
describe the
do in
location.
fact recognize my house.
Right, so it is your place.
Yes.
Have any run-in with strange white creatures? Just a offhanded question.
Got a description for those?
In a moment.
Then I don't know.
First things first. Like I said before, you were found pinned up against the wall in your apartment. You don't remember that happening, but let me ask you, do you remember any details leading up to you handing off the letter? And I'll test to see if he goes basically into what was your question again, or if he actually can notice that he has a mental block or something.
Let's see here. Wow. 3, 4, 6, and then 6, 3, 8, 4. Okay. He remembers something. Like, you get that obvious impression just looking at him that there is something on the tip of his tongue, and he can remember it. Second of all, you can see how it makes him very uncomfortable just thinking about it. And then you can see the moment that he blanks out, I suppose, for want of a better phrase, and he will tilt his head back in your direction. No, nothing. How long has it been since I was, on a wall?
From what we can tell, a few days. Yes, out of character.
No, it was literally last night.
Oh yeah, last night. We found him last night. I mean, how long has he been missing?
Would have had to have been, well, missing, you don't have an exact idea. He didn't have a shift until, like, that day. So he's been technically only missing a day. And he couldn't have been a vampire for longer than the night that you found him, because he wasn't killed by the rising sun.
Right. It's only been basically a night since you returned.
Okay. Alright. I woke up, and then
Do you remember the day, the specific date that you woke up that you're describing right now?
January 3rd.
What is today again?
It is January 4th this night. Slash
It's
day.
literally...
It is the next day, yeah. He remembers the day that you found him.
Oh, that's a... Well, basically just has his memory gapped from there. Just strange.
He's missing literally the night of January 3rd.
And if you get staked, like even if you get surprise staked, you at least are conscious enough to realize that you got like staked, right? Before you black out.
I don't think so. Think about what happened to Gideon.
When you get staked, it's generally pretty bad news, and it can happen while you're unaware. Like, Gideon was staked in his sleep.
He at least remembers waking up on the 3rd. But
Yeah, when he woke up on the 3rd, the sun was still up. It was probably a late afternoon. He starts his day like, afternoonish time so that he can work later into the night for his master. Yeah, okay. I woke up January 3rd, and if what you're saying is right, that was yesterday. And I don't remember what happened that night. But someone made me into this and stuck me on the wall, I guess.
Right. Strange question. Do you have any enemies you know of?
Enemies? No. I mean, I know that there are people who have their fucking stupid little arguments and fights over nonsense things. They play their little games, but Torino likes his house. I mean, the asylum's just a little fortress. So, I don't think he's got enemies. I think there are a lot of people he creeps out.
Uh, trying to think of which one to handle first. If you're wondering why I'm dancing around the question of seven, it's because I feel like if they have something with his mind that might trigger it, and everything will go to shit.
No, it is a smart concept, and although it's entirely guesswork, it is entirely feasible guesswork for someone who's used to the impossible. I will not penalize you for that.
Yeah, I'm just. If you're wondering why, it's just like, why is DCL bullshitting around? But all right, I'll go. All right, I'm gonna have to continue to shoot straight with you and just ask the hard-hitting question of, do you have any sensitive information related to your master, or anything, in fact?
Oh god, that feels weird breathing. I mean, yeah, of course I have sensitive information. Who wouldn't have sensitive information about the person who, made them their ghoul to do their work in the day? I mean, if you're gonna try and ask for stuff just related to him, no, definitely not. He'd kill me.
Of course, I don't want you to divulge any sensitive information, but
Yes, I
let me put
do
it,
have sensitive information, sure.
something that puts you above other ghouls, for instance, or
I mean, I'm Tarina's, like, his main ghoul, I guess. I'm not the only one, but does that by liberty make me better, more important? I guess. Like, I don't know.
can't remember anything after waking up. Do you even remember the time you woke up?
Late afternoon.
You can't remember anything after waking up. Just you were aware that you woke up and then nothing.
I mean, I don't think I did anything important enough to remember. Like, just typical got up in the day stuff. This is kind of standing out as a big deal right now, all of this. I can't remember if I had Wheaties or Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast.
This is a rather important deal right now, but being cooperative, and I just need you to continue answering my questions for now.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, what other angle is there? Merzindi, I remember you were mentioning that his inner room had not been vampire proofed at all, right? And so when he was staked up, if we had basically been a day late, he would have been just eviscerated by the sun, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Incinerated, not eviscerated.
That would be hardcore. The sun's light reaches in and pulls out your gutty works.
And our ghouls, of course, are not that sensitive to the sun, but do they have some sensitivity? Enough where it might make sense that they at least a little bit.
If their bloodline was extra specially fire, like, weak, then maybe they would. But otherwise, no, ghouls don't naturally become more sun sensitive.
Alright.
They've actually become a bit more nocturnal and resilient. They stay awake in more hours of the day than normal humans, but that's about it.
What is the elders? Oh, yeah.
I need to turn Emma into a ghoul.
Get the shit out. And how important is Tarina again? This is just DC.
Tarina is an elder, like in the same way that the person who gives Claire orders is an elder, the same person that Timothy reports to, the bartender. I mean, she's very much up there as far as elders go because she's the the right hand of the prince, but she's still an elder.
Alright, so I'll ask this in character because DCL doesn't know.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make an assumption in character and out of character. But so you admitted to having sensitive information, but we checked your apartment and its security is rather light. Isn't it a little strange that somebody who could be a target for such things due to just general vampire politics would not be well guarded?
But it's not like anyone writes that stuff down. I'm privy to a lot of sensitive information, but it's up here in my head.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of vampiric abilities that can mess with people's heads. You have no magical wards or anything to even protect you?
What? No, I don't have magical wards. I'm not a wizard. Some people have that stuff. The Auto Dracool people, maybe? Again, no, we don't. The Mortrovians aren't wizards or warlocks, or whatever the fuck you think they are.
Right. Have to forgive me, still kind of new to all this magic stuff. What I'm trying to get at is, don't you think you should have been better guarded?
I think so now, but thanks. Thanks for that. But no, otherwise, I was just a ghoul for someone who doesn't play the politics games. So no, I didn't think I needed, observation.
Uh, hmm. So how meta safe is it to assume with the empathy role that he's been generally truthful? I believe he has been, but I
I
don't know.
mean, you'll have to make the roll if you want to know, and I will roll secretly if he's lying.
All right, I'll try to make
In
the roll.
fact, I'll
Empathy
just start. I'll roll anyway, just so there's no obviousness. Okay.
some empathy composure roll.
Yeah.
It's kind of important. Can I spend willpower on it?
If you would like to, sure.
Yeah, that's like 2 dice, right?
3.
3.
Okay. 3 dice. Special.
Also, remember, you can spend willpower after the fact.
Oh, okay. Then let me not do that yet and see how this rolls. 4 successes.
So willpower could turn it into a dramatic success. However, in a test like this, I'll add that it's likely, I suppose, that it would be contested. So it's whether I could beat you at 4 successes worth of lying in such a contest.
Kind of makes me want to spend the willpower because I know how your dice be.
I won't say one way or the other.
Yeah, you know what? Just to be safe. Spend the willpower.
Yep.
Why not? Oh, what the? Oh, sorry. That was a completely.
You hit the
different
whole roll, but don't worry, we'll grab that for those first dice. 10, 7, 8, 10, 8. So you added 4 successes on just then. If we're counting forwards with dice. So yeah, I mean, yeah, good job. That's 8 successes. You got 2 exploding 10s.
Nice.
So yeah, with the 8 successes.
You will never roll that well ever.
I know.
You have robbed yourself of it. But yeah, okay. With 8 successes, I'll even give you throw in a little bit of extra goodness that you spotted in this person. He is not lying, first of all, as far as you can tell. He is obviously terrified and riding the verge of something akin to a psychotic breakdown, because he's been through a lot very suddenly. He is currently in a great amount of discomfort. And let's see here. Something else is scaring him, not just the situation. You're pretty sure that there is something else.
All right. So with this information, I'm gonna get up and try to play good cop. I'm going to go over and start unfastening the things that are like holding them down, and I'm gonna try to do a little speech and go, Do you know what I am? I know you don't, but play along, please.
I don't know who you are. I know that you're a vampire. You smell like one. Don't smell like a Morotrophian. I mean, even when I was a ghoul, I could tell what they smelled like. They smell like crazy people and antiseptic.
No. What I am is a shepherd. Do you know what shepherds do?
Is that a type of vampire group? Or do you actually shepherd sheep?
No, we don't shepherd sheep.
Are you a priest?
Actually, no.
I
have to
don't
think
know.
about it. But what our jobs are to do to help the Invictus make sure that it keeps running. More importantly, to help vampires protect themselves against themselves. If that makes any sense. Vampire cops, except we actually give a damn.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you, Mr. Shepherd. I apologize if I can say I don't feel very safe right now.
I don't blame you for not doing so, and I'll finish unstrapping them.
Mm-hmm.
But you're at least safe now. Then the Invictus halls, and we have pretty much the entire place trying to protect you. Trying to
Great.
figure out what's going on exactly so that we can help everybody else.
Yeah, he like starts like patting his way around the like just the bed thing that he was strapped to.
I'll help him down.
Yep, he'll step off of it. Like, oh shit, I wasn't that high off the ground. Oh, you're kind of short.
Not that short.
You aren't, but he's actually quite a tall individual.
No. Not short, you're just tall.
Sure. Maybe you hunch. Do you have bad posture? Sorry, I'm distracting myself.
God, I actually do, though.
He like taps the side of the bed thing that he was leant on before, and then like grips the edge of it. One sec. I've always wanted to try and do a thing. And okay, he crushes the side of the bed with his grip before letting go again. Fuck, I'm really a vampire.
Now, he can't see me,
Correct.
so I spent... Okay, so here's the thing. Obfuscate is mostly visual, but it affects the mind, right?
Correct.
What would it be possible, because I know I am flubbing it naturally, but would it be possible to use it to kind of subtly change it to like his expectation of someone who can handle the situation?
I mean, the voice is part of the identity, so yes, I suppose you could invest your power to be someone that he has more confidence in.
Have to ease it in because I already came in here without that on.
Correct.
Yeah,
You will have to settle into the identity. If you suddenly go from DCL to like Mr. Big Jaw Swank Fist, then he's going to notice. Especially since he only has a voice to go on.
Yeah. But just I guess I would have probably been trying to ease it on slowly without like completely changing my voice. I don't know. It's like a complicated thing during the talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a complicated thing, but that's kind of what that power is made for. You're welcome to make your obfuscate roll.
Shit, I forget how that works. Murs, please.
Which power do you want to use?
I'm trying to use I think the third level power or the fourth one. Shit, let me actually.
Give me a sec.
It's written down.
See, the familiar stranger.
I think
the
that's
fourth level one. That doesn't have a roll. When using facing the crowd, you spend you spend 2 vitae to activate familiar stranger. So you can then take on another appearance or whatever.
I'm getting up the rules because I'm trying to see what I can bullshit with this.
I mean, it sounds entirely valid. Like, part of your image change does include the voice.
Does. And let me get away with it. I'll close the book and just do it.
Yep. Spend your vitae and, like, gradually settle into it. You still have to do some acting, so I would appreciate a roll regardless. Just to, like, gauge how seamless your transition from normal DCL to confidence voice DCL is.
Alright. I guess with the line I'll try to cement the transition with is going.
Sure.
Right now right now we have basically the full weight of the Invictus behind this investigation. You're a valued person who is involved in this, and we're going to protect you. And more importantly, we're going to stop who's ever behind this.
All right. Could you give me a presence, empathy, plus your dots and obfuscate, please?
All right.
And I'll roll visibly against. Like, how does he feel about this? All right. Your target to beat is 3.
I hit 3.
Your presence is only a dot. Dang.
Yeah, my composure is high, but my presence sucks.
Yeah.
Fucking little string being nerd, alright?
Alright. Well, would you like to try it again then? We'll see if we can beat the roll off.
Well, I can burn a point of willpower, can't I?
You can. You can. Instead of risking a roll off of
will
your 8
burn-
dice against my 4.
Yeah, let's see if that works. I'll actually roll the proper 3d10 this time.
Alright, yeah, you come
Hey.
out ahead. Yeah, it's a dramatic success. You in fact, he probably wouldn't have made a comment about you being shorter. If anything, like, to him, your voice is also coming from a sturdier place. It's coming from, like, a tall, like, expansive and impressive individual. Like, you can practically feel yourself trying to fill these invisible shoes that are larger than you.
Alright.
But yeah, it certainly works, and he, doesn't catch your transition.
Alright, so now that we've got him settled down a bit, we'll actually cut the bullshit, go into the hard questions.
Sure thing.
So, first things first. In your apartment, we found these strange white vampiric creatures, and I'll describe all the details and things about them we found. How they bled, how they acted, and everything. And ask him if he's ever encountered these creatures before or even heard of them.
From the outset, he doesn't look like he even believes you at first, because you can continue to describe them and how they're in different rooms, and then he'll swap to somewhat horrified. No, I never saw them, but I wonder if that's the people who were there before. Like, I know people, they live in those other rooms around me in their other flats. Like, a couple of people. There's a young couple. They were going to be a family, I think. Fuck. Could you tell genders or anything? Is it actually... Did they change people? Or did these monsters just turn up and get rid of them or something?
We just unfortunately encountered them and had to take care of them. Didn't get to have any conversations or details about them.
Okay.
They're just a curiosity involved in this rather than the main point. So to get to the meat of the question, what are your connections or relationships with Seven?
You mentioned them before.
I did. We believe they're the ones who did what they did to you.
There were some words. They're gone now, though. I think someone's done something to my head.
I'm sure it's just the fact. Bullshit, actually. What would I have to roll to? Because I have no idea how this works. I'm trying to think of.
If you would like to lie to him?
If he becomes aware that something's fucked with his head, does that make it better or worse?
You don't know. You are not a professional psychiatrist. And frankly, memory loss of that degree is a fiction movie thing anyway.
Alright, I'll flip the coin and continue to shoot straight with him and go. We believe somebody did, in fact, trifle with your memories, or at least something happened that made you forget the day. It could have been possible that you were staked by surprise and have no recollection of anything that happened until you were reawoken. Which actually leads me to a curious out of question character. If you're staked... Wait, no. If you're a ghoul and you get staked for the heart, you fucking die, don't you?
Yes.
Usually, yes.
Yeah, that tends to be...
Most
Most people die when they are killed.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there
I just want to point out, you said out of question character.
Oh, My bad.
Out of question character.
The derp CL is going full throttle, but so when you get turned, you go like your health and your body basically reverts to like the moment you were turned, right? In peak condition, or at least around there. So like if you got turned while you were in the middle of dying, would you heal or would you be turned to that state?
Turn to that state.
Correct.
So that means he couldn't have been surprise staked because he would have had to have been turned first, then staked.
Correct. He does not have stigmata.
Now, if he was a ghoul and they missed his heart by mistake,
Eh.
But if they missed his heart, he would still die as a ghoul, right? Ghouls are only so much sturdier than humans.
Yeah, much in the way that crucifying a normal human does not kill them immediately, but it sure as shit sucks for a long time.
Yeah, but he got a stake through a chest, so...
He did indeed get staked through the chest. It is very likely he was a vampire and then got staked to the wall, because he does not have holes in his hands or feet, and he, doesn't have a big hole in the, left side of his chest.
He doesn't remember anything about him getting turned.
He does not remember being turned, no.
Yeah. I mean, somebody has probably messed with his memories in some way or form.
Possibly.
Yeah,
yes, embrace. Now he was getting turned.
So we're at least aware that somebody messed with his memories. I don't know, I'm just trying to think through this through my head.
Sure. Might be slightly meta, but I imagine that you had time to, figure out questions amongst Timothy and others, what would be a good idea to ask, so feel free to throw recommendations at him.
Yeah, because it's like the whole thing is he's like the kind of working theory is that he is a plant or he's here to give us misinformation or throw us off the lead. But we found him staked against the wall and in an unvampire-proofed room, which was basically just kind of like a ticking time bomb to his execution.
Yes, it was a death sentence.
Yeah, it was a death sentence.
It would kill you. It would kill any vampire, really.
But if he was... So, what are the Barticelli's powers?
The Barticelli's powers?
Yeah, what do they specialize in?
They have the...
sound.
They have just, the specialties of sound, anything related to making it or smothering it. They're nauseous, typically. But the Barticelli of this setting can be technically any kind of clan. Because
the other working theory was
take other ones over.
He was turned into a vampire to be used for utility, and then he was going to be disposed of immediately after. If whatever his bloodline he had, if the Barticelli had something special about him. Because, I mean, he can't be a plant or, a fake lead if he was going to be, if he was basically just waiting to be executed. And they weren't expecting us to find him. So I don't know.
Although if, with Botticelli having power over sound, that would explain why one would be able to get to him without being noticed. More than just regular obfuscate.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's the fact that they still went through the trouble of wiping his memories, which is an extra level of caution for a man who was basically just waiting to be killed.
It's true. There is another possibility as well. And that is that the Seven are fans of a very grand gesture, and he doesn't remember anything because of trauma.
Yeah. Which would, because he is kind of afraid of something, and if he can't remember what he's afraid of, it's probably trauma.
Possibly.
And then, I don't know, working theory, those weird creatures were able to erase the presence of life in a room, just to say they can't erase memories or whatever the fuck. Weird creatures that we have to still do research on. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out the angle because I can't ask him about 7 directly. He has no memories. I can't figure out why he was done the way he was done, or how he's even important.
You say you can't ask him directly. You haven't asked him directly what he knows of the 7, I don't think.
Oh yeah, I asked him his relationships. Yeah. Okay. Asking directly, does he know anything about 7?
How do you approach this question with him? Let us settle back to the realm of in character. He's, I would say, looking at you, but he's not technically. In fact, he's looking at the origin of your more reassuring voice.
Because you say you don't have any direct relationships or involvements with 7, but do you know anything about them? Hear any rumors or have any solid information? If so, where did you get it?
You will pause and take a deep breath. And he lets it out again. And he waits there for a time, like not breathing back in, as though he's still kind of mystified at the reality that he's, like not suddenly suffocating or struggling for breath. And he waits there for a time in this like perfect stillness, considering and looking moderately unsettling as he does so, before finally taking another breath in so that he can speak properly. Have you ever gotten the feeling that there are eyes boring into the back of your head? That someone out there really just hates you? They just hate you so much that you can practically feel it, like a real force.
Well, I mean, I have an arch enemy named Roll20, so...
Okay.
No, I do not say that in character.
Turns out this DCL still plays D&D.
Yeah.
With all his friends.
He likes to play World of Darkness as a changeling. Really doubles down on the crazy. Yeah, no, you'll
to reassure him, I'll agree in saying, yes, I've sometimes felt that, but it's not something I often run across. It's something you're feeling now?
Yeah, I feel it now. I feel it. Well, I think that's something I do remember. I saw something. I woke up that morning. I saw something. It could have just been written down somewhere. It could have been just the words, or like just a number on a newspaper or something. And it stands out. That number. I definitely remember seeing that. And for some reason, it made me afraid. It made me so afraid. You asked about the 7, and I remembered. I saw that number. I saw that number in a lot of places. You know when you're trying not to look at something, you can't help then but see it in like everything else. I guess I don't have that problem anymore. But yeah, I saw something with the 7 on it. I definitely remember that, and I remember being afraid of it. I remember being more afraid of that than I have been of anything in my life.
But you don't remember exactly why you were afraid.
No, just the number. Who are the 7? Because they hate me. They hate me so much, and they hate you, and they hate everyone here. I don't know who they are, though.
Shit, I am at such loss how to deal with this. The character definitely will be asking for some higher level professional help with this after I get done with the questioning. But I'll just say cryptically, the 7 are a group we're trying to deal with. No, a group we will deal with.
Do you know who it is who actually turned me? 'Cause I don't think it was them, was it? Otherwise I'd be dead.
Afraid not. We don't know who turned you.
Well, I mean, it was Botticelli, right? I mean, but do you know which one?
No, we don't know the specific one. And just making sure Elder Torina was definitely not a Barticelli.
No, Elder Torina is a Mortrophian, the ruler of the insane asylum. His sire, the one who ghouled. Well, sorry, I say sire. His master, the one who ghouled him. Mortrophians are creepy, like Morlocks, effectively.
Don't know the exact one. But have you ever had any interaction with the Barticelli?
No, God no. Do you have regular interaction with them?
No. But it was a question worth asking, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
Something said. Remember seeing the number 7? And you remember seeing it around your house, of course, yes?
Yeah, just like anywhere, like a clock, or a newspaper, a little alarm indicator, on a coffee pot, stuff like that. I remember seeing it and just being so scared.
Okay, so...
Now that you said it, I can't stop thinking about it either.
Don't worry too much about it for now. 7 can't hurt you in here.
He'll pause and chew on his lip hard enough to, like, cut, essentially, like, directly into it. It doesn't seem to feel pain. I don't know if that's true. I hope it is.
You can trust me that it's true. We fought whoever was trying to stake you to the wall and kill you the first time. We definitely can deal with anybody who would try to come after you now.
And then all of a sudden, DCL just sees like a red dot on the guy's forehead.
God, that would be what actually happens. But
Nah, his unseeing eyes fall out of his head and then just snakes pour out. Snakes!
He just melts like from guy from Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Give me a moment. I need to drop off these notes with my partner. I'll be right back. And don't worry, we won't be farther than outside the door.
Yeah, great. Where is the door? He kind of stood in the middle of fucking nowhere here, and he's like, you know, literally stood in the middle of the room. Behind him is the bed that he fucked around with. There's like devices and machines like to the side of the wall in here. But otherwise he's essentially in the middle of a cell, and he has no idea how far he can move in any direction. He's blind.
I'll at least ease him back to his seat on the bed.
Yeah, you can like flip it so it's not in the like weird, creepy upright position. It is instead just flat down like a bed, and he just sits on top of it.
Yeah, now it's time to call my lifeline Timothy and also pitch my rather stupid and dangerous idea I have.
So, we established last time, there is no cell phone signal in Twilight. I'm afraid I can't pick up.
Wait, are you not here? Weren't you here?
Nope,
for
he went to go.
Okay,
he's staking out the building itself.
Damn it! Fuck! Shit!
You're stuck with Benedict. I'm afraid I'm doing something probably stupid.
Okay, so my stupid idea is, and this will maybe not work at all or risk him flipping out to the point of mental shutdown, but I can use the higher level of face of the crowd to at least sound like whoever he expects in his subconscious who was involved in turning him or like attacking him or whatever, if he has any memory of that whatsoever, and then try to get him to maybe say something that identifies that person. The only problem is that if the trauma is as bad as I think it is, he'll probably just have a mental shutdown and we'll get none of that.
Possibly. It's definitely inhumane regardless, but it's totally a possibility that it would work. Or fail.
Oh, and then there's the added bonus of it being extremely inhumane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're vampires, so...
You know, you don't need that humanity.
But shepherds are closer to humanity, so it'd be something that my character would have more of an issue with.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for normal vampies, it's, you know, it would be a moral issue that they could get over for the sake of the greater good. For you, it's a moral issue, but
idea. I need to find the obfuscate rules again. Am I able to use that
Page
ability on other people?
138. It says you can use it on objects.
Shit.
Yes, when using facing the crowd on yourself or affecting a person with touch of shadow, or you can use it on objects with touch of shadow. You can do it to other people.
Okay, so what if?
But I would suggest Scow takes a look at this power as well to determine whether this falls under the under something you can actually do. I'm not sure if it would. It's
Sure. What's the page number in basic WAD? Vampire even?
138.
Okay, let's see here. Flick of Night.
Familiar stranger.
Familiar stranger. There it is. Okay. Rather than perception things to just see them, blah 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 blah. When using resistant crowd effects, increasing with touch of shadow. Then where is touch of shadow? 2. With just touch, they can extend any attentions to an object or animal rather than themselves, so they can mask things, objects, other people.
Yeah, that's touch of shadow.
Okay, and then back down to here. And we can spend the veto required to activate this power. They can specify a particular image they want to project, either a subjective category or a specific person. If they take on the form of a specific person, everyone sees and hears what they would expect that person present. Needs to know that the person exists. You can't use the description to influence their reactions. Well, they can also use it on objects. You can refine how people see an object. Though an illusory gun won't fire and an illusory knife won't cut. Okay, so you want to effectively use Touch of Shadow on him, assuming that he's willing.
No. Oh, I mean, no, not on him. I mean, the other way to kind of do the same idea, but be a little bit more humane about it, would to be make a little fake noise, like there was a fight or somebody trying to come after him, and then say, "Yeah, we secured the guy, and we just need you to identify him and see if he's that," and then like use a cell phone or just like the voice and see if he can't get any identifying marks. Trying to pull whatever I can out of his subconscious using this power. Whatever mental block is keeping him there. If he feels like he's safe, and we've got the thing secured and we're just not killing him outright because we need information, then maybe he'll be like, yeah, that's the guy, and won't flip the fuck out.
I guess it's not untoward to try and use like subconscious images or sounds against him. Well, I say against, big air quotes, in order to try and derive this information. Surely instead, wouldn't it work to tell him that you wanted to use his subconscious?
I mean, there's always that.
I mean, he might then, decide that he's okay with the risk of having a freak out. Indeed, you might reduce his odds of a freak out by being like, I want to try some fucking brain magic.
Because I thought the thing with obfuscate was that being aware that it was being used diminished its power. Is that not a thing?
I don't think it's a thing, no.
Because if that's not a thing, then yeah, that's the only reason why I wasn't doing that. I'm pretty sure like being aware of obfuscation is bad for obfuscation.
No, I mean, and this is a case that's come up with Face in the Crowd quite often, in that you could be aware that, for instance, Timothy is using Face in the Crowd until he draws attention to himself. You still can't fucking see him. He is gone. Like, the knowledge doesn't stop that from being effective.
I guess that's fair.
Guys, just tend to slide off him.
Yep.
Alright, then, instead of the initially convoluted plan, we'll try to get him
just
aware
ask.
of what's happening.
He might need persuading, but you can just ask instead of try and organize a radio play.
Alright. So yeah, I'll come back in from a little short break, and I'll try to, lay the facts out in front of him that someone's messed with his brain. There is information that is being blocked and probably locked away in your subconscious, but that, and my skill set, there is a way I can actually pull that information out. I need to make sure that you're aware so that it doesn't cause you any undue trauma.
Is it gonna hurt?
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah, he'll like awkwardly run his hand down his front, and he's like in a fucking surgeon gown. He's just...
You know of obfuscation powers. I basically have something that will let me change my voice and mannerisms to fit whoever was involved in your memories. This could be the person who assaulted you or even the person who turned you. But once that information is out there and you can hear that voice, it might let you be able to identify who did it, and that would help our investigation.
I'll pause and think. Alright, it sounds fucked up and scary, but sure.
All right. Just remember that no matter how convincing the voice sounds or what memories it dredges back up out from the recesses of your minds, just remember that you are in a room safe amongst friends who are going to protect you.
Yeah, okay, great. He looks nervous. His hands are like digging into the bed frame, although he's not using that awful grip again on it. It's just gripping it normally with intensity enough to make it creak.
All right.
Alright, go ahead.
Better to rip the band-aid off when he's not expecting it, so I'll just spend the vitae and go right into it.
Okay.
And
So, I mean, you're used to looking at a person and it comes to you like an influence, like a click. This is what that person wants to see, and you start to fill that shape, and you read off of little cues from them and cues from yourself, and you develop this persona or an identity. That power works as well for becoming someone physically, well, basically physically to them, different in appearance and sound and all of that stuff. This guy isn't able to give you many cues, as you might expect. So what does it look like when you're literally using your power to just reach into someone and grab an image? Like, you can't do any of this shortcut stuff. There's no gentle touch to scoop this information up. You're probably using obfuscate in the least subtle way it's ever been used.
Yeah, because if I'm having to try to reach and build the image off, the first thing would be to start with a general idea, a very strong general idea. I guess in that case, it would be maybe, since Seven was involved, member of Seven or the man who attacked him on the third. If that makes any sense. Whoever he's afraid of would be a good, shot in the dark.
Okay, the person he's afraid of. Alright, so you start this process.
And the first, keep it simple. You test the waters. You just, slowly say Jacob's name.
Yeah, okay then. So it's like you start, you can hear it in your own ears as you change your voice through different registers. You're like,
can I?
Oh, yeah, probably. Like because you can feel your voice doing its job of like trying to help you play this invisible part. Just like, for instance, you real person sat there DCL, your speaking voice is slightly different to DCL the vampire speaking voice. You have to go to some effort, right? Like, you enunciate slightly differently. Like, you can feel that on your tongue and in your mouth as you're, like, shifting through the registers as you yourself are searching this man's being.
And, this is where empathy would come into play. I would be reading him to see exactly how he shoots up, because there is a minor differences between, like fear you have from a thug or attacker and fear from like a superior or something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like reach out and find whatever I can.
Alright, give me wits, empathy, obfuscate, please.
4 successes.
Alright. So, it takes some time. It's slow going, because again, like, there's no bounce off of him. Like, you can't gather this record.
Can I spend willpower and try to turn that into
You certainly can try, yeah.
Gonna try. 3d10.
Alright, roll again. 1d10. 6 successes. Look at you going. Okay. So yes, it takes some time for you to like get the reaction that you're properly after. And you speak to him in a voice. And he pauses and goes, "That's it, that's them. Say some stuff."
I'm trying to think of what would an intimidating member of Seven say. Oh, I guess I'll just ask.
Batman.
No,
Sure.
that's what I want to say, but I'll just say, "Oh, so you remember me, Jacob?"
I know that I don't remember the voice. I don't remember them as a person. I was already blind.
But you remember the fear.
Yeah. Yeah, I was... He pauses. I was already blind when he came.
What else do you remember, Jacob? Do you remember my name? What I had in store for you?
No, no name. I remember how you controlled me.
And how did I manage that, Jacob?
It was your hands. There were other hands too, and they lifted me. I tried to fight back, but I didn't know how to do it. Like I didn't know how to fight like a vampire. And I couldn't see. That's what made it hardest. I couldn't see you. I couldn't stop your hands. Then everything went dark a second time. There was a different dark though. I couldn't hear. There was a ringing in my ears, and that was worse than being blind at the time.
Do you remember why there was a ringing?
I think it's because you hit me, really hard or something. There was a tool, a weapon, something. You hit me with something. I couldn't see what it was that did it.
And why was it that I hit you?
I wish
Was it a surprise attack?
you hit me because you hated me, because you hated everyone. I can tell that much. I know that much.
Damn it! I want the name.
I don't think you ever told me your name. You told me who you were, and that you'd come, and that you get others. I remember that. You never gave me a name.
So it was coming for you. So it was a surprise attack, or at least an assault.
I think I knew I was expecting you as well. That's why I was blind. I was blind because I was expecting you.
You accepted the embrace so that you could be ready for me?
I don't think it was that exactly. I know that I did because of you. I became blind because of you.
I wonder if he wouldn't blind if he turned himself to be blind so he could stop seeing the sevens or something like that.
Is that something you say out loud? You keeping him talking?
No. Actually, you know what? I might as well ask. Did you blind yourself because you kept seeing the sevens?
Give me a wits empathy. No obfuscate, you're just trying to read him. Give you a -2 modifier though, because he's shit-fuck terrified in general.
0 successes.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of hard to get a read out of him, but he's definitely scared, and he like shakes on the spot as though remembering being cold, because he couldn't possibly be cold now. He's a vampire. I think it was to protect me from that number. What is it you were doing with that number?
You saw the sevens. You knew I was coming for you. And yet you were still at your apartment. Or at least, that's all you can remember being.
There's just so much missing.
How did you know we were coming?
I don't know. I guess because you came for others. There were other people, I think. They were scared or something. I don't know if they're alive anymore. And he shrinks in on himself a little bit.
I wonder. If I spent more vitae, and since this voice is terrifying him, could I turn my voice into the man who turned him? Or at least try to redo that fishing?
Yes, but it's gonna be with... Let's see here. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4... With a -5 modifier, it would be your wits, empathy, obfuscate.
Might as well try it. Let's see. Obfuscate. -5. Vitae. -5. 1 success.
Okay. This time it's harder. It's a strain for you to get there. Like whoever this identity was, this other shadow of a voice that you were before, this one that you're presenting yourself as now is entirely different. You can feel it like a pulling on yourself to, like, you know, essentially slip into another pretend psyche, present yourself as another individual to Jacob.
Last guy was full of hatred and venom. What does this one feel like?
Give me wits empathy.
One success.
You get the impressions fake self-confidence.
I mean, shit, that's all I've been doing. Like obnoxious fake self-confidence or like composed fake self-confidence?
Like being scared and trying not to show it. You don't want them to be scared.
Right. Jacob, remember what I told you? I told you the 7 were coming.
He freezes up again. It's just like, oh god. This one's harder. I think I recognize your voice.
I need you to recognize my voice, Jacob. I told you something important. I need you to remember.
I don't think you did. You told me something, yeah. I don't know if it was important. It made me feel a bit better.
I was friends with you, wasn't I, Jacobs? Or at least on good terms?
No, I don't think until now I'd ever even met you. But what you said was true, it was right.
Why do you think I told you, Jacobs?
I don't know, but you seem sad to do it. You didn't want to tell me. You didn't want to do this, did you?
I didn't want to turn you either, did I?
No.
But I had to, didn't I?
Yeah, you didn't give me a choice in the matter, but yeah.
Would you have said no, even if I did give you a choice?
Maybe. I don't remember. This time it's blurrier. Trying to remember is really hard.
Can you remember my name, where I was, anything about me?
Okay. In fact, I'll ask you, roll me 5d10.
Alright. Two success.
Okay. Yes. Your name was Jacques.
Going through the notes again. We met at Jacques, right?
You did not meet him.
Jacques
He's
the Blind?
Jacques the Blind.
Botticelli District on Sewer. Yep.
He is missing.
Yep. The one we thought of. That's right. I was Jacques. Remember why I met you?
You met me because of the 7. I saw something at some point. They had to come and kill me because of it.
I turned you because I helped. Did I turn you because I helped? I thought it would help you stay alive.
I think I was doomed either way. I don't think either of us expected me to, be alive tonight.
So why was it so important that I had to turn you?
So that I couldn't see the number, and I don't know why.
Do you remember where we met up?
I don't know where I saw you before, but this was just at home. Things weren't wrong yet.
So I came to your home. I talked to you personally about what you saw.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
You just need to just stop seeing it.
That's right. I don't know why I needed to stop. I'm glad that I stopped seeing it because it scared the shit out of me.
Do you remember anything I said afterwards about where I was heading, where I was going?
Afterwards, no, there was everything after the turning, the embracing. It was a blur until the other voice came, the 7's voice. Later in the night.
So I just left you there after turning you. You said you woke up in the middle of the day. What was I even doing awake?
I think you came to me in the day. You came to me in the night, definitely. Before the others. I couldn't have been a vampire long, I guess.
What time? Did I come with anybody? Was I alone?
I think you were alone.
Of course. I needed to be alone, didn't I?
I don't know. I guess you did.
Did I ever tell you how I figured out that you needed to be blind? That you started seeing the numbers?
No. I asked, but you never told. Said it would defeat the purpose.
Yes, I suppose it would, wouldn't it? You need to stop seeing it, no matter what.
Well, I can't see anything now. Thanks for that.
Do you think I was involved with 7? Do you think I'm a part of 7?
Maybe. Maybe being blind keeps you safe, but I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, low. How I... Smaller details. Can you remember how I came to you dressed before I took your vision?
No.
Do you remember if I came by car?
I don't think you did.
Did you let me in?
I can't remember. I think you just walked in. I opened the door, sure, but you walked in.
Did I do anything to your home?
I don't know. If you did, I didn't see anything. Didn't see anything. I don't think so.
Did I have any particular items with me that stood out?
Roll me 5d10. Roll me a d10.
Eh.
Oop.
Eh.
Okay, so we've got 3. We've got... Yeah, you had, a weapon. I remember a weapon. You didn't draw it on me, but it was there on your side. On your belt, I think.
Was it a sword?
No. Had a long black handle. It looked kind of like a scythe. You know, a bit like the big, silly Grim Reaper-sized ones, but it was still just the, like, one handle, and he, like, makes a gesture with his hands of a certain size.
Baited question is, did it look like a 7?
No? How does the scythe look
The
like a
7
7?
they use is the VII, not the
Yeah, not the
yeah,
number
you're
7. Although he was being triggered in his own words by seeing it written down as like SEVEN or like in numbers in 7 or whatever. Like he was afraid of that number, but
So I'm gonna call in my knowledge of blades and Kendrick fighting.
sure.
But what usually weaponry? What is a scythe even capable of against a vampire? Anything at
Well,
all?
I mean, you're aware the weapons themselves have a symbology to them, and symbology is just as important as use when it comes to a lot of things that are of the less natural, semi-magical side. But at the same time, like, any sharp implement in someone's hand is gonna be a bad time. And say, for instance, this scythe, like, the haft of it was also sharp wood, then essentially what you've got is a stake on one side and a reaping tool on the other. So, I mean, it's a potent weapon, but then again, any bladed weapon would be potent in someone whose hands knew how to use it. So it's probably symbology worth.
Probably symbolic. Yeah, the scythe though.
Indeed, a karma or a sickle.
Oh, that kind of scythe, not like a super huge reaping scythe.
I mean, it had a blade, like a very long blade, but it was a one-handed handle.
Okay, that's different.
Mm-hmm. It was a very bastardized combination of the two, if anything.
So he came armed and he was prepared for danger. He came over and didn't discuss exactly how he figured out that he was seeing the 7s, only that he needed to stop seeing them. That if he told him how he found out that he was seeing them, defeat the purpose.
That's right. It seemed to them, maybe to even to both of them, that it didn't matter if he wasn't going to survive that night, so long as he didn't see his death coming for him.
So long as he didn't see it. But I did know death was coming for you. That's something that didn't change, correct?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything either of us could have done about it.
Did I seem like I wanted to tell?
Maybe. I don't know.
The voice sounded the voice when I changed it to it sounded like I was afraid. I didn't want to show that I was afraid. Came to arm. Man, this case exploded to something so fucking big.
Yeah. It is one of vampire kind's deepest and darkest legends. Darker than the Strix, that's for sure.
And the voice that came after him was angry and at least had enough vitriol and grandstanding to speak about how he was going to kill off all the other vampires as well, right?
He never said he was going to, but he just knew in his heart of hearts that that man's hatred was for everybody. Whether he was being literal or not is a different matter, I suppose.
I forget again. Did I ask? Did the angry voice say anything to him? I remember guiding by hands and then striking him so hard that his head went ringing.
He might have said something while his ears were ringing, but no, you never tried to like relay information, and he didn't pick up any either.
So he was just there to do the killing, or at least something like to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish you were here right now, Murs.
I'm sorry.
Hey, speaking of.
About time to switch over.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I have any more questions I can possibly milk as hard as I've been trying.
Yes, I think as well by this point that he's very much too shaken to give you anything more than that. But I also do want to commend you. That was very impressive. Feel free to take a willpower.
All right. Take one of those willpowers I spent back.
Yep.
I gotta write down all this.
Yep, I added some details to the bottom of the side job document under New Embrace.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, Timothy. Describe your watching of the building.
I'm going to be doing it in shadow form. I activated that last time, and yeah, I'm going to be on one of the corners that the cleaners pointed out as good observation points. I'm just going to be settled up there, looking like an indistinct pool of shadow, facing in the crowd to just look like any of the other bits of shadow that are on the building. I mean, it's a building
Yep.
at night. Sure, there are street lamps, but there's going to be darkness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It should look as unwatched as anything can. And
Yeah, okay then.
I'm gonna be keeping an eye out on the other one of the like places that can be observed, and also on any groups that like on any individuals or groups that approach any of the entrances to the building.
Okay, excellent. Alright, so yes, you're watching the building. It's a new night, and your mysterious, freshly turned Barticelli should have been long dead by now. And it's quiet. Occasionally people walk like along the sides of, like down pavings. No police have turned up. That's probably not going to remain the case forever, but they've been put on hold, big air quotes. So, not even a police line marker. Now, when you see stuff in the twilight, there's usually I'd suppose like a tint to it. I believe you don't see in color.
I think that's how we ruled it.
Yeah, you've got like the sepia world, such as it were.
Yeah, except
Purpley and blue. Yeah.
black.
All right.
Ah, yes, the modern game design filter.
Yeah. The reality is, to you, there are perceptible differences in what to others would have been like a straight sheet of indistinct blackness. So, yeah, as opposed to grayscale, you're seeing in black scale. And while you're watching this building, can you make me a A wits composure roll, please, for spotting a thing.
Any modifiers?
Nope. Damn fine roll right
Let's
there.
do it. Oh, only four successes still.
Yep. Well, 4 is enough. Can you please give me a stamina resolve test, please?
Oh boy. Do any mods apply to this?
Let's see here. Does your oath come with protections?
Oath of the True Knight? Yes. The standard one is, but it gives me armor against attacks by ghouls or kindred. But hold on, I'll need to check the rest of it because it does have quite a.
It's got. I know that it's got a long list of like effects that an oath would protect you from, but I can't remember if it's got things like protections from influences or assaults, things like that.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm just gonna have to find that real quick.
No worries. Tim 1v1's the final boss. He wishes. Because Timothy, the deadly shadow sorcerer, is an ass-kicking machine.
Timothy tries to 1v1 with the final boss, ends up like falling under the boss's sway and being like, yeah, that's reasonable suggestions, all those things you just said.
What's that? Get the 7 stamped on my head in shadows? Okay, fine.
7 years later, Timothy usurps the final boss, becomes the final boss himself.
Mers would be fucking delighted if her character became a BBEG.
I mean, I'm fairly certain I'm quite a bit on the way to that already.
At least an evil, not the BB though. Definitely a bad evil guy.
Are there good evils?
I mean, we can make an argument for a government.
The internet?
That, that's fair. It's fair, DCL.
Yeah. I'm happy to say I don't want to skimp you out on dice. It could be quite important. Could be. Maybe I'm just trying to make you nervous. You never know. You can hear Furious scrolling.
Oh, you can hear that?
No.
She's just messing with you.
Might be.
Are we BRB?
Sort of. Looking to make sure that...
I may be having to frantically scroll through to re-download the book.
What are we looking up? Should I
The
be looking
defenses
something
of that you get from being from your oath of the true knight or whatever.
Would that be Secret of the Covenants?
Yeah.
Oh, that one had a weird name when I had downloaded it.
Found it.
Okay. I won't bother then.
Goodness knows I've got a lot of fucking vampire books.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, we'll be conducting a short session tomorrow
Hmm?
to talk about what kids everybody's going to be playing.
Yeah.
And create this world.
I know what I would like to be.
Alright. Use of dominate, majesty, and other disciplines that might mar her judgment suffer her invictus status as a penalty.
Hmm.
And I may not be subject to. Oh no, that's just when taking the oath. Yeah, I can enter. So those can be done after the oath is taken, so those won't apply. So
It sounds like it would assist your resistance, though, so yeah. You can have your 4 oath dots.
it's my invictus status. It's unfortunately only 3 dots.
Oh, you use your status for it, okay.
Yeah, the oath costs 4 dots to get.
Right, and then it uses your status as your modifiers for a lot of the effects.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah, your 3 invictus status then, please. Fucking good thing you had it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna level with you right now. Like, you're only either one. Don't burn all of your willpower.
Okay.
You guys have been like so heavy onto trying to like singe your way into like 5 successes when this game is like you only need 1 most of the time.
The thing.
Like if it's a contested
these are-
roll, I do it first so you can see what you're up against. That's what I've generally been doing. You're just lusting
you
for dramatic.
feel like they should be contested, so yeah, I'm extra nervous.
Fair, very fair.
I was
Yeah.
trying to get all the information I possibly could.
Yeah, generally if you're looking at a situation that's contested, unless I tell you this is contested and secret, for instance, seeing through lies and stuff, because you don't know if they're lying or not, like if there's a contest, I usually roll first to set your target in the first place. It's generally how it's gone most of the time, but regardless. So, in this shadowscape, the twilight, you can see a figure moving. At first, I would say a figure is the right way to describe them. They're humanoid, definitely. Probably like 5'11", maybe. But for some reason, you keep looking at this person, and you'd swear that like your vision keeps skipping over past their face and past their head. Like you keep looking at them, and your eyes are being tugged from side to side, and you have to very obviously focus on it. And when you do so, you feel this sickening revulsion in your stomach. Like, just a horrifying wrongness just digs deep into you, like with crippling strength, and you can feel this other sensation, that voice, that company, that extra winged being that hangs around the side of you let out a little horrified screech of agony and go quiet.
Do not be afraid, girl.
Yep. And even as you whisper those words, be them in your head or out loud, you're not sure, maybe you said them in your head. The figure looks in your direction as you do so, as though they could hear you. And you can see that instead of a head, there's like this glowing purpleness, like a washed out bloom is looking in your direction. It is colour in the twilight, this disgusting, like, obscuration, obfuscation. something or other. This visceral wrongness to look at. It's got two hateful white dots where eyes should be in this mask of purple. It's looking in your direction, but you can see by the way these white dots move from side to side that they can't see you. They can't hear you. And it's as though that they could sense that something, has brushed up against this cover that they've got over themselves and has been struck at thusly, but they can't see you because you are just a pool of shadow to them. Every time their eyes cast over wherever it is that you're stood as this pool, you just feel that same sickening grip digging at you. But it doesn't seem to find any purchase every single time. Like claws are scrabbling at your face and at your chest and then pulling slowly away. That would be amazing if you had cell signal in Twilight and that's when you get a phone call for a DCL. My God, I'm so sad that you don't get cell signal in Twilight.
No,
Hey Timothy, there's the information I need.
Yeah, exactly.
if you get a phone call in Twilight, I don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah, no, you start hearing like, what is it, the fucking God machine or whatever. You start hearing the cranking of gears as you pick up the phone. Like, that's not a good thing.
That would be fantastic.
You end up on God machine call waiting. No,
Someone's trying to get you to sign up for a God Machine timeshare.
Yep.
Would you be willing to surrender your soul for 13 months out of the year?
Our timeshares are so good, you'll never want to leave. But we'll make you. Yeah, this figure continues to look over you, and they pause in their steps as they do so. There may be, 20 seconds of what their walking pace was away from the house of Jacob Cabs. They take another step forward, and then they still cast their eyes in your direction. I'm gonna make a test, but I'm fairly sure. Yeah, no, it is a chance die with the modifiers of your Oh, I was so close! So close with the chance die to actually spotting Sir Timothy the Shadow Pool. But not enough. Not a 10. But yeah, they can't detect you, and they will walk into the home of Jacob Cabs. Well, they walk into the apartment block where the home of Jacob Cabs is located.
So, yeah.
As you stand out there waiting, you can see that the figure exits again quite quickly. They probably were only in there for some 20 or so seconds. And they pat themselves down and rummage in their pocket and pull out something. I think it probably is a cell phone, judging by the way that it's very quickly brought up to their head, but the details of it are washed out as it's brought closer to this revulsive purpley bright light.
I'm going to try to slink closer.
Okay, sure. As opposed to you rolling, it's always going to be a fucking chance die for me to spot you, so I'll give it a go. So, how much closer were you getting?
Oh boy.
Tell me it would be a contested roll at that point.
No, even if Tim got a success, the stealthiness of Tim imposes so many negatives, I'm rolling a chance die, which I rolled and succeeded. It would be pointless for Timothy to roll, because it wouldn't change that I was rolling a chance die.
No.
It's always a 1 in 10 chance of someone succeeding, at least on this sort of roll.
Yep, and also a 1 in 10 of it going horribly wrong for them when you make it. That's the cost as well. You could take your 1 in 10 chance of succeeding. It's why those ones force you to take a dramatic failure when you fuck up on a chance die, because often a chance die means you're really trying when you have no right succeeding.
Yeah. So I was going to be trying to slink into, like, close enough that I might be able to hear them.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is when your phone goes off. We'll call the DCO.
No, not actually.
No.
I think you mean ring, 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 ring.
Fuck off, fuck off.
Fuck off.
God damn it. Yeah, okay, so your pool creeps closely to the edge of perception. He's speaking in, like, grunting tones. At least you're pretty sure it's a male voice as you get closer. I'll give you an attempt before he spots you, which he's going to do so. Wits composure to listening. Every success is a word that you hear.
Just one.
Okay, let's think. I don't want to leave you away with nothing. You hear the word escaped. Before uncannily their eyes snap towards you. Indeed, you're not sure that they were looking at you specifically, but you realise your shadow pool went underneath a hedgehog. And his eyes snapped to this hedgehog, and it's you, like, you know, this blob of shadow going still that then alerts him to the fact that there is, in fact, this otherworldly something. Can I get your Resolve Stamina 3 mod again, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, this disgusting, sinking feeling presses in against you. The owl has not spoken up in you since the very first time, but you can feel, like, stark, raving fear as, like, essentially just, like, waves of visceral hatred are washing over you. You have two options right now. Fight or flight. Timothy, this is just an instinct in you. You know that you must do one of these things right now. And it's not the beast reaching out. There's no contest occurring. There's no assertion of dominance. Just the knowledge that this is dangerous. And you have these two choices right here and now. Which do you choose?
I had to be running low on resources.
It's never any other time.
Yeah, I think that Timothy, with all of his vitae to spend, would put up a legitimate fight.
If he wasn't already able to do something into Twilight, I would be able to take him without a question, but he can. I do not have the resources to fight someone who can actually fight back right now. I have to flee.
Alright then. And yeah, you hear the word escaped. The hedgehog is scuttling and his eyes snap to it. You go still and he sees you. This all seems to crystallize into one singular moment. And he's already reaching into his coat for something, but you have bolted. You are moving as fast as your shadowy self can move. What direction do you run in? I say run. What direction do you ink away in?
I think what I am actually going to do is teleport to the first skyscraper that I spot.
Excellent. You have to, like, reorient your perception. Like, there's this burning bead of, like, orbous pulsing purple that's, like, in your vision, almost sort of, like, disrupting your ability to, like, draw your attention away from him now that you've, like, stopped being skirted past him. But you do manage to spot it. Like, you know, you have to find your reorientation. He's going to try and do something as you initiate this teleport. He's quick, but maybe not quick enough. I'm going to secretly roll some stuff first, and I'll let you know if I even have to bother rolling an attack. Okay. Alright. I came close. I actually got a bunch of exploding dice in my GM roll. But no, he's not quick enough. You're already teleporting away before he's even finished drawing a weapon from his coat. And yeah, suddenly you're in a building.
And suddenly building.
I think up here, I'm going to go to. I'm gonna like slip inside of it and then on the shadow form.
Yep, sure. When you do so, can you give me one last resolve stamina modifier, please? Okay, and let's see. Yeah, all right then. You manage to like keep a hold of your stomach. Now, the moment that you become solid, you almost feel like just an upset stomach. Like you realize that you were about to fear vomit. You managed to keep it down.
Drowned girl.
Give me empathy presence.
Fucking hell.
I have a feeling your empathy is low.
You mean it's a negative? Yes.
Oh. Actual sociopath, Timothy.
Yep. Oh, look at you
Wow.
go! Alright. Yeah, there's like a stirring for a few moments before, yeah. The presence doesn't speak up. They rarely do. They're usually just more an insistent wait, like a pushing in a general direction. Their presence seems to slink back into the foreground, though.
I'm not done with your powers yet. You will not depart me.
Yeah, alright. The owl is cowed by your power as ever. But its fear is certainly something to be concerned about. Indeed, like you felt it for yourself, it was not a natural fear and it affected even them. Whether they exist, you're still not entirely sure if it's just some kind of fragmented, broken facet of your own mind that you've given an extra person to, but regardless, this fear affected you both.
Darian must call Darian.
Yep, indeed, now that you're solid, your phone buzzes.
I'll open it up.
You've got a missed call from Darian. Would have been maybe 10 minutes ago.
Wait, would I have actually have called?
I mean, you wanted to contact him, right?
No, when I stepped out, I wanted to contact him because I thought he was like outside the room viewing. Because if he was, I remember we talked about it. Yeah, I'd forgotten at the moment. But if he was going over to a mission which possibly could have involved violence, being a sneak, I would have known better than to call because I would have called it rightly the wrong time.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, there is no
Darian's a young kid. If you wanted to contact him,
it would be
text
text.
first.
It would be text first. It's true.
You never call without texting first.
It's true.
In fact, if anything, I probably have my phone like completely silent and just obsessively check it instead of letting notifications happen so I get detected. That's all cell phones are good for, is getting you caught at the wrong moment.
Too canny by far. Yeah, all right then. So yeah, you have not got this message. Then go for it. So you intend to call Darian?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. DCL for you, it would be about 10 minutes after you've finished your interrogation.
I do want to say I'm going to kind of go up to I'm going to try to bully some blood bags that I can get. I'm going to be like, this shit just got serious. I don't care what you say. I need blood right now.
Yeah, alright. I mean,
You're gonna be
they...
sucking a lot of dick at this point.
Yeah, I know, right. Well, no, you were performing an interrogation, and sometimes people need a dose of blood afterwards because they've had to invest their vampiric power to do so, and indeed, the same was the case for you. They're happy to provide it. You were doing a service, and, it's like when you got builders over and you make them a cup of tea and some biscuits. Like, it's
Yeah,
just part and
alright.
parcel.
It's just vampire etiquette.
Yeah, yeah, you came here to do some work. You're gonna get like snacks and food.
Yeah, after I get the vitae, I'll answer call. I'll answer Timothy's call and just like immediately go. Is everything all right?
They have powers beyond what we thought. They have shields reaching beyond kindred, reaching beyond kind. They're protected against the twilight, and they see that which is unseen.
Timothy, are you all right? You're sounding shaky. Are you being under attack?
I was forced to retreat, Darian.
All right. So you're finally released out of the enemy range right now.
I'm in a skyscraper. I don't know which one. I used my power to flee here.
They said they could see you. You're gonna be able to make it back to the Invictus, all right? Elysium.
That should not be a concern. I will need blood when I make it back.
Yeah, I'll have them set out something for you.
And, I must speak to Claire. Does she yet remain at the Elysium?
Is Claire still here?
D10.
D10 the fate.
Afraid not.
No, Claire's not here right now. She went back with her Order of Dracul friends.
I had hoped she would still be. No matter.
Listen, just get back here at the Elysium. There's a lot of information I have to dump on you, and it pretty much translates into the same thing you told me, which is shit is serious now. You might need to get the elders involved.
Perhaps this is most disturbing, eh? Yes, I am on my way back now.
I will sign off and hang up there, and wait for him to come back.
Sure. At the same time, Jacob Cabs is attended to by just like a relatively armed kindred. Sadly, Jacob himself is essentially useless to himself. He's blind, but he's not been blind long enough to have inherited the ability to like get around, and he's not in a familiar location. So
I'll assure him that comes with time, which he'll have, because we're going to make sure that nothing happens to him.
yeah, he'll just shrug. I've already died twice. By the way, what's your name?
Oh, right. Never gave that out for me. Is anybody else around to correct me on this?
This is probably just like either inside or outside the room which the interrogation happened in the first place, so there like might be someone there. If you lie, like they're not exactly gonna call you out on it.
Yeah, you're a vampire. I mean,
Hmm.
vampires lie.
And like someone, in fact, if anything, someone will like look over their head at you, like, really,
Yeah.
really. They won't even see the cue.
Yeah, I'll be like, my friends call me Draven. Just because there's no way I would have bullshitted something better on the spot right there.
Draven.
But now I'm a little worried about what will happen if I give him his name, now that we know that big shit is happening.
Sure. He is going to try and sense bullshit on you. Because
That's
if there's
fair.
one thing that his improved hearing has done, it has improved his ability to do things like sense people lying by words. And I stand corrected. He has no fucking clue. They'd be like, thanks, Draven, you're a real pal. Or I guess that was an awful, shitty experience.
I know it was. I'm sorry for it. But we're going to make sure we get that things get better. This is something that the entire Victus has a stake in it.
Very well.
And I'll make sure not to be too far away from him in case something goes wrong.
Sure. I need to find if there's someone who can teach me Braille. He's just like gonna fucking grumble to himself and be led by just a member of the Elysian to more. In fact, no, he can't be taken to more approachable accommodation because he's a Botticelli and his fucking bloodline's infectious. So
I'm gonna wait for Timothy.
Yeah, no, he has to go back to the room of safety. Also, could you roll me 3d10? No reason.
All right. For absolutely no reason.
Okay, everything's cool.
Do I roll another d10?
No, you don't need to.
Okay. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is daijoubu.
Daijoubu desu. Certainly wasn't some kind of test for the infectious bloodline based on you being there for a long time and grumble, 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 totally succeeded. Oh well.
God damn it, why are you turning me into Zatoichi here?
Oh man, if they're that contagious, it is surprising that they have not been like
Eliminated.
Oh no, and
Yeah.
there's probably special circumstances to his degree, and also 3d10 might be quite innocuous.
God damn it, I'm gonna go blind now.
No, you're fine. I say that you wouldn't know until you woke up in the morning.
God fucking damn it.
Speaking of blind, say Rose.
Yes.
It's a shiny special morning. Your companions are up to their shenaniganery. DCL hasn't turned up to suck your girlfriend's dick.
God damn it. I should send him dick pic.
Sure. Do you send DCL a dick pic?
I will suggest it to Etienne and see what she thinks.
She will make a joke about banana for scale and seem okay with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely banana.
Yep. So yeah, DCL, you're like, oh shit, another message. Is another one of my friends in danger? And then, it's Etienne's Dangus with the banana for scale.
Huh. I'm gonna close that out right now.
Now, how big is she compared to the banana?
I mean, bananas themselves are very variable sizes anyway.
But if anything is next to a banana, you can tell exactly how big it is.
It's true. It's true. She's like 6 and a bit inches, I guess.
Well above average. Because the actual average is like 5.5.
Probably. I don't feel like I'm long enough in my life for me to look up average dick length.
No, yeah, I have. So
What do you mean lived long enough? That's a common
yeah, that's
search.
just
What are
normal.
you talking about?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, just like 6 and change.
Not bad, not bad.
Indeed. She will smirk. And then she will also eat the banana. Hi, banana.
Damn straight.
It's good for you. Also,
Good
she's the only
Andy.
one who eats the fruit in the house, so she has to make sure she's vigilant about it or it all goes off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we gotta get this day underway.
You do get some messages from Claire that, the inspection, she'll do in big air quotes. I believe she probably used the phrase vivisection last time, but, friendlier on this way. Inspection, big air quotes, has, gone on with this Botticelli. I believe I gave you details last session.
Yeah, I have to find the person who fucking did this shit to me
Yep. So,
and get a sample of their blood.
yeah. Which Botticelli did you spend the most time with down in the sewers?
All of
Not quite.
them? Like, was there one particularly, or is it?
There was one in particular who spoke with you. And then it also was the one to escort you down to the final resting place of the dead hobo.
So two of them.
It could either have been insert nameless NPC here, or it could have been Amelia Weber, the child of the elder.
So there's two options, or it could have been one of the miscellaneous guys.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go down there by myself, so that would just be dumb.
Might be a bit
I don't
dangerous.
want to go down there just with Etienne either.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to put my thievery skills to the test. My contacts, my everything.
Okay.
I'm gonna put out my feelers to see what fucking pots these guys got their fingers in. Cause I mean that they're sewer rats and all that. That they've got to be involved in some shady dealings. So I want to try and find out what they're involved in, so I can leverage that to get them to help me.
Okay. Sure.
Talk with my suppliers and my black market dealers and my contacts in the Carthians.
Alright, what kind of roll would you like to make?
Doesn't Heroes have a crap ton of cash tokens?
I don't-
Yeah, I'm putting that into my.
Yeah, it's going into a nightclub.
Yeah.
A sexy nightclub of her own.
What would that be? Presence, streetwise
Yeah, okay. Sounds reasonable.
with Carthian status.
You can do two, one for your normal tap contacts and one for Carthian blinds, if you would like.
I'll do the normal one. Not wits. Stop. Take off wits. God damn it. Like whenever I click on something else, it's like, oh, you wanted to get rid of presence. I see.
Yep. Just because Rose is so goddamn witty.
No. What? Persuasion. Fucking get fuck. These sheets are.
I should have just opened up your sheet so I could watch it. Watching you
that
click
is one of
around.
my asset skills. Oh. Oh wow. Wow.
Good shit.
You guys sucked up all the.
They stole all the tens.
You sons of.
But as always, if you remember correctly, you really only tend to need one unless I'm fighting you on rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So, chase around some details and some contacts. Typically, the blinder smack dab in the middle of the Russians and the Yakuza. The Yakuza are closer to where business happens. You're pretty sure you know some people who run acquisitions for them. Big air quotes for acquisitions for the Yakuza. They're not window knockers, more like smugglers, I guess. Fences?
Okay.
Yeah. There are a couple of people who fence stuff to the Yakuza around there. You can sort of chase one of them up, who you happen to know is in the moderately spurious business of acquiring very... I don't even know how best to put it. Things that would do better being hidden in the sewers, I guess, is just a broad general
Contraband.
term. Yeah, just a broad general term. Contraband is the word I was looking for. Yes, they stow some contraband under there for the holding for the Yakuza.
Yeah. Let's chase that up.
Okay, sure. What's the name of this doo-doo fences to the Yakuza?
I'm the one that's terrible with names, man.
I know.
Uh, Jimmy Longnose.
All right, sure.
What about his brother Jimmy No Nose?
Nah, because everyone knows that Jimmy knows.
Jimmy No Nose is Jimmy Longnose.
Yeah. It's just it's just a funny affectation, just like the massive guy is called Tiny.
Fair. This is how that actually works.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, a guy, Jimmy Longnose, he fences stuff to the Yakuza. On a few rare occasions where you've gone on the rob, you've come across stuff that was of a more Asian influence, and you go to Jimmy Longnose and say, is this actually worth something, or am I being racist again? And, it's like a...
I was gonna bring up the racist.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're all self-aware here. And at least some of the time it's like, oh no, this time not racist, actually worth something. But yeah, he stows a bunch of contraband down in those sewer systems, so it stands to reason that those sewers would connect quite succinctly with the Botticelli.
Okay. I'll ask him if he's got dealings with the squatters who live down there.
Squatters in the sewers? Where'd you hear that from?
I got my ear to the ground.
You're fucking under the ground, more like it. Yeah, there are some people down there in the sewers. They don't touch our product. They don't bother us none.
No, they got their own business going on.
So far as I can figure it, sure. I mean, they keep to themselves, so they don't cut in on Yakuza stuff. I know sometimes when people go down there, they don't come up again. Luckily not something I've ever had to worry about, but, again, I don't go as deep as some of those, I don't know, rats happen to hide.
They're not involved in any of your business.
Yeah, they tend to stay out of our way, at the very least.
That if they're involved in anyone else's business, the Russians, anything like that.
Oh, you're after the actual sewer boy specifically. I mean, fuck, let's put it this way. I would be surprised if those guys were up to, like, people trafficking or something. I'm not sure they're the kind of people you want to be messing with.
Most certainly not.
Sounds like you intend to anyway.
Let's just say they've already messed with me.
Ah, shit, revenge, is it? Oh, let's...
Insurance policy.
Ah, of course, of course.
Make sure they're not going to do it again, type thing. Don't want to make enemies. You know me. I don't like enemies.
Well, of course, no one likes enemies. Why, are you saying I like enemies because I don't?
No, no.
Alright, let's have a
Enemies
think.
are not good in our line of business.
No, absolutely not. Also, it's been a while. When you gonna come around with something fancy?
I got my fingers in a couple pots. I'll bring something by sometime.
Alright, well, say yeah, if any of those pots seem to be made of something fancy and have dragons and shit painted on them, then come our way. It might actually be worth something.
You got it.
Alright, so people heading down there. I mean, I heard very recently that the Russians, they happen to have some new drug that they're pushing. That's pretty popular in the well, less spurious trades. Yakuza guys try and keep their nose above ground. You know, obviously still doing illegal shit, just above ground. Russians, not so
Literally
sure.
above ground.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't be surprised if they were down with them. Dealing their whatever the fuck it is they're dealing with these days. You heard of this stuff, Kenta?
What, like Kenta Kinte?
Fuck if I know. I know it's called Kenta, and that it's supposedly fucking a lot of people up.
Never heard of it.
Nah. Yeah, forget it. It's, I think at least the Russians are pushing it, but... Fucking wouldn't put it past them to be in the part of the old, smuggling people, dealing witness.
Alright. Well, thank you for the information.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Slip him a nice little bribe and... Well, not bribe.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll just knock a percentage off your next fencery. Yeah.
And so they don't deal with the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Let's try Russians.
Alright, sure.
I want to find something I can use against these people.
Alright, let's get a present streetwise. I'll give you a +1. In fact, if you want to use your Carthian status, it's there are a number of Carthians and Crones in the poor district, so they would be able to help you instead.
And that would just be presence Carthian status?
Yep, presence Carthian, and then your +1 for knowing vaguely what you're after now.
Price is much better, and I get 9 again.
Yeah, I know, but you are also very specifically now looking for ways to get under there, correct?
Presence plus Carthian plus 1.
Still came out with a success. Okay.
You guys, DCL, you took all the good rolls.
Stole so many nice dice off of her.
Look, after the month I've had, give me a session of good rolls. Give me
you know what?
one.
That's all too fair.
You have got it now.
Yeah. You were overdue some decent rolls, and decent rolls you got with vast aplomb, and I was very impressed with how you handled it. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So there is someone who can get in touch with a Russian. They happen to do business with the Under. Indeed, it's possible they might be a ghoul.
Alright, go have a little chatty chat.
Sure.
Take Etienne with me.
Going for a face-to-face?
Yeah, meet up somewhere.
Sure, okay.
Somewhere semi-public, but private enough we can talk.
Sure. There's a bar where they operate out of. Bring a little bit of bribe cash, they'll speak to you.
Alright.
Yeah. Etienne this time is not dressed in her hunter gear, but is instead, dressed in vaguely going out clothes, except she's put underneath a strapped vest and she's got a gun. She's no fool.
Really, our last combat counter says otherwise.
And she did good.
I remember rightly,
Up against weird.
she got struck a lot of times and then blinded.
Yeah, but she survived.
She did.
I was just making fun of her because the dice were so mean to her last time.
They were really mean to her.
We were fighting weird white vampires that nobody's ever seen before, and she's just a ghoul, man.
Yeah, actually did really well for just a ghoul, frankly.
And she's getting her dick sucked thanks to it.
It's also true. But yeah, when you arrive, there is a like 5'5" Russian girl, modest chest and body. Hair is probably the you know when someone used to have a mohawk and it's just starting to grow back out again?
Oh, it's the best. Like the shaved sides.
Yep.
The color of Soviet pride.
Mm-hmm.
I love that look.
It's a pretty cool look. And they're like, they just sat on the edge of a bar, drinking mouthfuls of shots of vodka right there. They're checking their phone every now and again. You would know this person as Vaya. V-A-Y-A, Vaya.
I will head on over and buy her a drink.
Why, you're very kind. Thank you.
Of course.
So it is you who had questions about the underside. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mild curiosity.
All right.
Wondering what you guys know of squatters down there.
She's gonna size you up. And say you can probably do the same to her. Could you give me a wits composure, please? I'm gonna make one as well, just a wits composure for her to get a read of you. Obviously not exactly contested, you're looking at each other. You can't unlook each other's eyes. Let's just steal a few of those 10s so you guys can't have them. Yeah, are you tooled with anything like particularly hidden that you do want to roll a stealth for? Otherwise she's, just getting the look of you.
What do you mean?
Like if you were hiding guns and stuff on yourself, you could indeed make a after the fact roll. No? Okay.
No.
So yeah.
ITN is, but
yeah, she's not hiding it. Alright, so when you look her over, you recognize a semi-familiar smell, like, just sort of like clings to her boots, and that would be of the sewer. Not like she doesn't wash or whatever, but obviously she's at least walked sewer adjacent quite a bit herself.
okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're pretty sure that she's strapped. Not a big deal, all told.
I just realized what the worst pickup line she's probably ever heard of.
What would that be?
Are you a sewer? I'm about to go down your shithole tonight.
Incredible. No, her favorite. Yeah.
That is the worst thing my mind has ever conjured.
That's impressive. You know what? That is impressive.
It's not the worst pickup line I've heard.
Yeah, there's some pretty bad ones. I mean, usually if she wants to pick up what it's Sukabliet.
The worst pickup line is still you smell different when you're awake.
God, it is. This is next level creepy, isn't it?
Especially when you haven't met them.
Yeah.
It's a pickup line.
Yeah. Goodness me. You look away pretty without the curtain in the way.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
You said she's a ghoul, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see as much. And she recognizes you for your vampliness.
Well, I am blushed.
Okay then.
For the day.
Yeah.
I should take that off.
Yep. Alright, fair enough. Let me sure look here. I'm not sure that it's the kind of place you want to go to.
No?
No, it's dangerous down there.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm uh not necessarily interested in going down there myself. But I am interested in whatever they're interested in.
I see, you want to try and run some drugs, some people, some money? Food? She'll
Yes.
squint. Blood?
Maybe.
Well, I need a little more to go on than maybe.
How to play this? How to play this?
You know, as far as business associates go, they don't tend to, come up here for no reason.
Look, I'm how to play it? Hold on a second.
Sure.
I need to think. I need something that I can use as leverage. Oh,
Yeah. Instead, while you're considering, she like pauses to turn her attention to Etienne. Why, hello there, cute thing. Etienne, I think on this occasion is probably playing it safe. She'll smile, but you know, otherwise, play it cool. Look back towards you instead. Like, oh, fine, all business, no pleasure.
It's okay. I already have a black boy to suck my dick scheduled.
Pencil you in for tomorrow. Yeah, you figured out your leverage?
Um, I could try dominate on her.
You could?
I could. And I could get Etienne to help me.
Also true, yes.
'Cause she took the dominate really well.
She did. She can give you modifier. She is admittedly a little bit anemic at the moment still. It takes her a lot more effort to recover Vitae.
But dominate doesn't take up Vitae. The first dot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the best part about it.
Yep.
Look, I am. Let's just say it. I'm a thief.
Alright.
And I'm looking to offer my services. People down there in exchange for, let's say, a favor.
Ah, here we get to the actual crux of the matter. You're not coming for a business opportunity, are you? You just happen to want something, and wondering if you have anything worthwhile in trade, yes? Why does a thief want to come here and to work for the people under the ground? Can only assume it's because you need something from them, not the other way around.
Yeah. Let's just say, I know, uh, this is so hard to like put into
Yeah.
my mouth hole.
Yeah,
You know?
and she is watching you very closely.
Let's just say, I've got my own sources of information here.
Of course, yes.
They're telling me that I might want a favor in the future.
Of course. What would you do if I were to ask you to show me your teeth?
I will smile at her and show my perfectly normal teeth.
Yeah. Obviously not one for code names, are you? She'll look between the two of you. But perhaps I am wrong. What have you heard about the people underground?
They're very secretive.
Mm-hmm.
They don't come out very often.
Of course.
They do a lot of uh got drugs and weapons going through that they don't tend to mess with themselves.
Sometimes, of course. But that also means what would they have use of a thief for? If they are willing to accept all of this business for, just making sure that they are left alone, occasionally fed. I struggle to see where your profession is going to come into help.
Because they you don't just ignore such business going through your own territory. You have another play, something more lucrative. And there's always use for someone who can get around doorways.
She sighs, takes a mouthful from her shot glass and fills it back up again. Well, you see, here we have a problem. Because the people down there, they are not like the Russians, they are not like the Yakuza, they are not like the Cholos. They are not interested. I wish I could put it to you in more simpler terms, but they stick to their own kind. Now, I know that some people, they just want to set up little meetings with them just to say they did. Or maybe they've heard some scary stories and rumors about what they are. I'm here to tell you that they are just scary stories and rumors, and they are not interested. They hold some stuff for us, and we leave them be. And that is our arrangement. Sometimes, occasionally, they will move something if they want something a little bit more special, but they don't need us to thief for them.
I was so hopeful that they'd have their fingers in a few pots here.
It's possible they do, but you haven't presented yourself
Yeah.
as a vampire, and she's taking no fucking chances as a ghoul. You didn't play along with her little teeth game.
Yeah. Okay. It's not like you want to just go snicketing your teeth out.
No, of course not. But it was basically her, gonna have to see some proof maneuver, and you did not. And so she's like, oh, of course. Can't fucking trust this outsider.
I'm gonna nudge Etienne and tell her to play along with this.
And she'll quirk a brow
And
and observe.
I will look at Faya and say with dominate, um, do not reveal any of what I'm about to tell you to anyone else.
All right.
Think that'll be a good command.
Sure. Make a roll, +1 mod. Your ghoul is here and helping.
And now I just have to quickly. I think it's present or manipulation, maybe.
Presence Manny Dom.
Dominate. 130. Intelligence, expression, and dominance. Okay. Expression dominante. See, what I should have been is like a painter and take that as my professional training, so I'd have that as 9 again. Expression, you know?
Yeah.
Now I get a good roll.
But I'll be goddamned. It was nearly full successes. Look at that shit.
And it is versus resolve and blood potency.
Take off a bit because she's drunk. Alright, yeah. She'll nod slowly. Of course, why would I tell anyone what you're about to say?
Exactly. We're friends. I will snick at my teeth out then. And say, yes, I'm a vampire.
Of course. That will make it much easier to be doing business.
Exactly. And I need leverage over these guys. Since you can't tell anybody
Yeah.
what I'm saying now, I need leverage over them. They've wronged me, and I need a little bit of information that I can use to make sure they don't do that again. I don't want to harm them or your business or anything like that. I just want to make sure that they don't, harm me again. You know what I mean?
Her eye twitches. I think I understand what you mean. I mean, of course I wouldn't tell them, but I find myself a little concerned. They are my, well, they are my compatriots. I do work for them. I make sure that they stay well fed and happy and protected, and this is not...
I don't want to interfere with your business or theirs.
I mean, it sounds like you want to interfere with their business at least a little. If you're looking for some leverage to be messing with them.
A little bit. Do I know the names of the people I interact with?
You do not know the nameless one. You know Amelia Weber. I think it was spelled like that. Might not be. It's inside job 2 somewhere. Yeah, that is the right spelling.
Now, are they your vampire masters? Are you a Botticelli ghoul?
That's right, I'm a Botticelli ghoul. But of course, it's I do not spend as much time down there as a lot of them. I like being able to see just a little too much.
See, that's exactly my thoughts.
She's under your dominate, but does that still leave her able to do things like try and, make tests to read the underlying statement there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the mesmerize was just to not relay, anything I said
Sure.
to anybody else.
Yeah, that goes a little bit over her head. She refills her shot glass and knocks it back again.
They're trying to make me like one of them. Blind.
I see. And she'll look pointedly between them. It looks like you do not have the extra eyes to lose.
Exactly. And again, as a thief, it kind of cuts into my my own business.
Of course, and it would be such a shame to lose a pretty woman down there into the dark. She will smirk.
So, So, do you know of any way, anything I could do as a thief that might ingratiate myself, make them owe me a favor?
She'll sigh and think for a moment before looking from side to side.
Perhaps a police case that needs to go missing, or evidence in lockup?
Yeah. She'll look from side to side with conspiratorial gazes before leaning closer. You can just smell vodka on her breath. Alright. But just like I am not telling any of my friends about you, please try not to be telling any of your friends about us. They are someone important, and we do not know where they are. I'm willing to bet if you can find them, with your little special contacts and your breaking into places, they'll be willing to help you out.
Okay.
Now again, you wouldn't tell anyone, would you?
No.
Good.
No, of course. I like having friends. I prefer not to have enemies.
Alright. You see, this is appreciable. I always like everyone to be comrades.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly why I just want to get this matter resolved.
Okay then. Well, if you can locate a rather gangly, little bit tall Frenchman, for some reason, he's been up here instead of down there with everyone else. And they're getting a little bit worried.
Gangly Frenchman?
That's right. He's a little tall, a little gangly, and you'll be able to tell who he is because he has no eyes. He tends to be...
His name is Jacques?
That's correct, yes, Jacques. He is the one who was in charge. Again, not that I told you this, you did not hear it from me.
No.
You find these Jacques, then I'm pretty sure that they'll be willing to do anything for you. They've been getting noisier over the past couple of days, impressing on us to go looking around, and that's not good for our extended businesses. Ghoul or not, we got to look out for ourselves a little too.
Of course. Well, pushed back into the main plot line.
Yeah, I surveyed this and a little sort of writing. Sadly, yeah, what they are literally after is the resolution to this. Sadly.
Alright, well, fuck it.
Yeah, it's like you went for all this roundabout and thinking, I'm gonna feel really bad with how this turns out, because either the conversation goes awfully and you make an enemy, or the conversation goes really well and you'll be disappointed. It's just like...
Part of me was hoping, like, that they would settle for, like, some kind of, you know, smallish favor, like stealing some kind of, relic or evidence or something.
It's just that group. All they do is just sit there in the fucking underground.
Steal a bunch of fucking drugs for them because I don't know.
Yeah, no, really, it doesn't suit them.
Maybe they had some of their shit go missing when they lost some people down there because some of their people went missing.
It's possible in small amounts, but yeah, you're like, I wonder if
I
the
was
small,
hoping
yeah, the small, the
something like
small, the
that.
small underground religious coven, not really the same deal there. I mean, you could suggest that, like, you're looking for these kinds of small things. She might have leads for you for, finding some people who have gone missing or some product that have gone missing.
Yeah. I will thank her for the information.
Of course. And you never know. I myself, not just speaking for those down there, might have a use for thief. We take care of our comrades.
Is she Carthian? Do I know that? Like,
she is non-affiliate. Her affiliation is Sukoblet, money, vodka.
That is typically Rose's affiliation as well.
Yep. Ukrainian occupation, also a big fan. No kidding. Yeah.
If you ever wanted to get out of the, blind people blood business and work for someone with only one eye, or with one,
of course.
Go off an eye,
An interesting offer, I admit, but at the same time, I am fairly certain that it is a bad idea to jump from one family to the other.
I'm not asking you to.
Of course.
If you ever need a change of careers.
I will keep it in mind. But if you are looking to expand your own career at all, and she will pause, pull out two phones. One appears to be like an actual, like a normal for use phone, and another is a burner. She'll like copy a number over into the burner and then slide it over to you. Tell you what, you ever come across a big hit that you think that we might be able to extend our own talents to for a little cut, just a small cut of the profits?
No.
Of course. And yeah, you can add to your equipment that you have a contact for via of the Russian mod, the Gbada Jelly Ghoul. And I'm gonna add her to your associates sheet.
Oh, okay. Where's that under? Or is that your own sheet?
No, it's everyone has access to associates. It's in the handout section.
Well, that was wonderfully roundabout
Yeah, as I say, like the moment you were like, I should go and see her face to face, I'm just thinking, oh fuck, because literally it's like you're off to see a mobster. So the potential of this conversation going poorly means that it could go really poorly and then escalate to like violence and shit. But it's like even if you get, yeah, I know. But it's like even if you get what you wanted. What you get is not going to be a fun answer. It's going to be, by the way, currently they're kind of up in arms about this whole their leader is missing thing. But they'll fucking do whatever they'll suck whatever cock that you want them to suck if you get them back their leader, or at least locate the bastard.
Alright. Then I will head on out and text Tim where we are on the whole job thing. That I'm ready to put in my my work.
Excellent. Most excellent.
Because that is the thing too. Like as soon as Rose started going blind, she kind of started to drop off that job because she had her own pressing.
Yeah, sadly though, the reason that whole situation popped up in the first place is because you were, off on that job and went down there.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird for you to like immediately jump off the job that probably caused the situation, but at the same time, I don't blame you. It's kind of a bit worrying to start going blind.
It's okay. I'm gonna start going blind with you. Apparently.
No, you made your passes, even though you had a higher chance of failure because you stood next to the freshly vivisected and new-blooded vampire made by the Elder.
I mean, nobody mentioned that it
yes,
was
they
that
did.
contagious.
Well, I mean, they did in fact make this mention and warn you that, it's not exactly what one would consider a safe idea right now, but you now have your access, and you're like, okay, I gotta go ask my questions. Like, alright, ignore my warnings, go for it. And you were fine, so it doesn't fucking matter. Hooray. Yeah.
Alright. Well, start working on the job now. Where was the last time we saw or heard of Jacques?
Well, most recently, DCL has just heard that Jacques visited Jacob Cabs and fucking turned him into a blind vampire just before his being staked up on a wall by a member of the Seven.
It's okay. Depending on how deep I go, I might just need to turn blind anyway. Apparently.
Turn a blind eye.
Ho ho ho. This is why you're being hunted for our puns.
Mm-hmm. You need to receive punishment. Hey Ram, just in time for the sign off.
Are we signing off now?
We're about to hit 4:30 and I'm tired, so yeah.
Oh. Bye, Ram.
Yeah. Regardless though, yeah, it seems that you're all together and ready to progress, such as it were. In fact, you know what? Etienne came with you to the Elysium, and Tim, yes. Do you want to head straight back?
Yes. I just wanted to make sure I get back, without anything bad happening.
Excellent. But yeah, I imagine Etienne on this occasion is going to join Rose because she's owed a dick sucking.
Uh-huh.
So
she can get her dick sucked while watching some sharks.
This is true. In fact, you know what? There are 10 minutes left until the expected end of the session. I know a certain someone has an aspiration they'd really like to finish off.
Excuse me. We are kind of in the middle of a super huge event right now. I'm gonna have to put that dick sucking on hold.
Oh, what's that? Oathbreaker I'm hearing? Etienne will announce loudly.
No, I'm actually being serious here. Things have escalated to the point where we could be in danger of being killed at any second. I'm not going to put myself on
better chance?
Yeah, she'll touch you. I believe what you're saying is, well then, we may forever lose our chance to suck dick.
I am not dealing with this right now. Timothy, I have a report to give you.
Etienne will look so disappointed. And she'll even look to Timothy Etienne will look to Timothy as he's spoken to. She's like, what the fuck, man?
Darian, I informed you I would need blood.
Here, I have it prepared out for you.
Yeah, the moment she hears that, Etienne fucking squints like, oh, there's no way that I'm putting myself in 2 dick suck depths. But okay, no, fine, that's alright. He's got his blood bags. He's got his Capri Sun.
Got the Capri Sun blood bags.
You can perform your obligations while I feed. I wish to have my full faculties to hear a report.
Seriously? Is everybody just trying to get me to... You know what? All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
You agreed to it.
Yeah, Etienne plants both of her hands on like either of your shoulders, DCL, and looks into your eyes and goes, I've never had a vampire suck me off while I'm looking at sharks. How would you like to be the first?
Fine, but we're doing this somewhere private.
Are there sharks somewhere private? She'll shifty eyes.
Not gonna make me suck...
This is the shark room.
Just because it's not gay, because it's a hot girl, does not mean I'm gonna do it in front of literally everybody. I mean, I would, but shut up.
I mean, aquariums are known for their
Like multiple viewing
darkly
rooms.
lit hallways, just surrounded by.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. You can guide her to an appropriate, like, you know, the underwater walkways.
Yes, I love those.
Yeah,
You guys are such bullies. I swear to God.
it is. But you made a promise, and vampire promises are important. No oath breaking here.
Fine, but you
You
try.
don't mind if I posterity, do you?
If you what? Sorry.
Record this for posterity.
Oh no, no recording, because no.
Oh, come on.
Wait, you can't even record it anyways. I'm a vampire.
I mean, it would be Etienne blowing a really blurry getting blown by a really blurry shape.
That's
But like, I don't need footage of me getting sucked off by a smudge.
Why do you have to be so smudgy?
I feel like that's racist.
I mean, I suppose I would
Hey, I can say it. I'm smudgy too.
It's true, you're all smudgy.
Rose will take a smudgy selfie.
It's true.
So you look at those smudgy duck lips.
Doesn't it cost like a willpower to like actually show up in a photo?
Alright,
Imagine
fine.
having to burn willpower to get recorded giving a blowjob. Like, that's some next level sluttery. That's fucking Dudes of Legend level.
All right, fine. If it's just gonna be all smudgy, but I'm watching.
Fine, but only if I get more blood out of this.
You already agreed.
Yeah, I agreed to do the dick sucking. I didn't agree to have an audience.
That's my girlfriend.
Look, Hedra told me that in times of need, you need to milk the situation for all it's worth.
It has been milked.
She also
Now
said,
it's time for you to do the milking.
yes, but you're watching. Therefore, the price
Exactly.
goes up.
No.
Yes. Need more blood. I'm gonna need more blood anyways. I'm serious. You guys don't seem to understand how bad things have just gotten within the past day.
How about
Would you guys...
go get you laid afterwards?
Etienne will announce as she like unzips that she knows a couple of really nice girls at the fetish bar. They don't even have to have dicks.
We get you laid, maybe you get a little bite to eat at the same time. Boom, bam.
Fine. Better find me somebody who knows anime. None of that casual shit either.
It's a fetish bar. I'm pretty sure they all know the animus.
Yeah, she'll idly nod.
All right. Let's make this fast. God, I might have to spend willpower. I might have to spend Vitae for Blush of Life so I have not a sandpaper mouth.
I mean,
I would recommend that.
you could gargle lube first.
Ew, God, no. I'll just spend
Yeah, Vitae! I'll stick to Vitae! Yeah, alright. And yeah, congratulations. And then yeah, if DCL wants to make an early spend of complete a job alongside Rose, you can spend it off now.
I swear to God, if they tell me their favorite anime is Naruto or Sword Art Online, I'm gonna punch you in the eye.
What about Evangelion?
I mean, it's at least a little bit more niche, but still won't make me happy.
I mean, there's a lot of tight latex outfits.
If I remember rightly, there was a girl who dressed up like a latex horse who liked Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. Does that do anything for you?
Bless you.
She at least passed the beginner test.
Alright, great.
Oh, so now we're gatekeeping.
Yeah, more like gatekeeping. Get on there.
Hey, we've already been.
That's
over
true,
this.
you're right. Yeah. It's only gay when she does it.
Yeah, exactly. The lines of heterosexuality have not been crossed.
Yep.
2018, motherfucker.
Yep.
Which is why I'm going to. Which is why traps are included in my search for anime girl.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because traps are not gay.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, do they identify as guys?
Psh, traps aren't gay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, a trap is a guy and it's a guy having sex, but it's still called not gay because it's a trap. Don't worry. She will very heterosexuality smack her balls against your chin and have a good time.
Completely straight.
Yep.
I'm just imagining him muttering that the entire time.
I feel completely straight, you know. It's not gay.
I'm gonna show you the straightest dick suck.
Please show me the straightest dick suck.
You know what? Fucking let's throw some dice at this because it amuses me. Let's see here.
How good are you at sucking dick?
Let's get wits dexterity.
Well, I know Hedra, so I think it's a skill that I've been trained in.
Yeah, wits dexterity for sucking.
Just think, you guys think you are on this train. Hedra's been making these jokes. Hedra's been making these jokes since day one.
Congratulations, it's not a joke.
What's dexterity, you say?
Yep.
What's dexterity, you say?
Yes, exactly. You're actually quite good at those things.
Because you got them dicks.
So, what happens if you call in your dirge again?
You get a willpower when you wake up in the morning.
I'm calling my dirge and spend a willpower point here.
What's your dirge?
Perfectionist. I have to show you the perfect.
The perfect.
Suck dick.
Yep. All right. Yeah. All right. It's a dramatic success. The ambience, the insistence that it's not gay, the sharks. It's a good blowjob. She has a great time, and you work the shaft, play the balls, swallow the gravy, do it all. Expert precision.
In the straightest way.
Yeah, it is so hetero. No one can deny it.
And she was eating fruit this morning.
Yeah, it's true. She did have fruit this morning, so it's even better.
Extra sweet.
Yeah, the prince walks in just as she nuts. Everyone's just like, no! But it's fine. Everything is fine.
That is a good question. Good thing. He might not want to swallow.
You can just gargle.
Yeah.
Very hetero gargle.
Gargle and spit. You can't ingest anything that isn't blood. You're gonna throw it up later.
I mean, I had to spend blush of life just to make it not sandpaper.
Yeah, tell you, wait, yeah, when you wake up in the morning, quote unquote, you'll have 2 willpower for it. You literally spent a willpower to dramatically succeed at upholding a promise to suck a girl's dick, and you did it with a dramatic success. Congratulations. And on that fantastic note, should we go to the aspirations that are scored today?
Yeah.
Alright, so Lily, we have helped him with his job, has still got its triple pluses. Fixed vision has still got the normal plus. Watch DCL suck Etienne's dick, score that at 2 beats.
Yeah.
You should get 3 because it was the straightest dick sucking.
I should get 3.
No.
I have to put
DCL, you have perform a job alongside rows of 2 pluses. You've got figure out what the new creatures are, nothing in it, and you've got capture a member of the 7 alive in big air quotes. I think any of those
Yeah, now
score
that's
in.
in super big air quotes, considering we don't even know what we're dealing with now.
Yep. Mers, we've got Research Persistent Shadows Plus, Resolve Side Job, Shaking a Few Trees Triple Plus, and do not allow the agents of the 7 to kill or torpor any of my comrades or companions with plus. And I believe that wraps it up, so you guys just get your end of session beats apart from that. But otherwise, good job. That DCL, I'm very in fact, I'm going to give you an extra beat because I was very impressed with your interrogation. It was very well figured out.
How many end of session beats do you normally get? 2?
2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you see, you can indeed have 3.
Got 6 experience.
Nice.
Need to spend that on
6
something.
experience.
Yeah, I've kind of been, ever since I came here, I've been banking literally all the experience.
You have
I've
not
got.
spent a single point of it? Sick.
No. I honestly, with the way things are going, probably want to spend that in some blood potency, because that might come in handy real quick. I need to
It's true, taking your
heal
BP up
away-
from 1 to 2 might be a pretty good move.
I'm gonna need to heal away the bashing damage I'll probably take to my face. I'm not talking about girl cock.
Alright, and with that, if you're watching in the VOD or you're watching in the stream, I hope that you all have yourselves a lovely motherfucking good time, and please do take care.
Bye, stream. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.